What is going on? Dewey, of course you're first. How's it going, buddy? You guys getting a bunch of rain? What is going on, everybody? Let's see. I'm going to let a few people hop on. I've got a couple ideas on kind of what I want to talk about. It's Friday. It has been all past it. And man, it's been raining here like crazy since yesterday. We've needed it, but that storm has just been steady circulating up through our area. Snow, that's insane. Well, just wanted to get on Friday, go live for a couple minutes. I don't have a bunch of time, but I wanted to hop on and kind of talk about some of what's going on. Some of the folks that watch the channel and folks in the inner circle, some of the people that I talk to and the messages and comments and stuff that I get, we're all starting to see a little bit of a slowdown. Now that is a seasonal thing, even down for folks in the Southeast, like where I'm at. It does tend to slow down a little bit. And I, just from years of experience, I know that we're going to continue to kind of to see a slow decline in the amount of calls coming in. The next month should probably be pretty busy for us, simply because people are getting ready for Thanksgiving. They're getting ready for Christmas, all of those things. So, that's a good thing. And the thing that I wanted to talk about, and the title of this video is "Failing to Plan is Planning to Fail." And I think maybe Einstein said that, if I'm not mistaken. But basically what that means is, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have some sort of action plan in place, and there's my dogs that just walked in. If you don't have some kind of action plan in place to sustain you through the slower times, or if you know that winter is your off season, what are you going to do during that time to build your business up, to grow your business, to plan for the spring? What are the things that you're going to do? Excuse me. I'm going to take her collar off because it's really loud. So what are you going to do during the slower times, during the winter, to focus on your business, to help grow that business? And, a lot of people will focus on the marketing, right? Really, really hit it hard. And it's great to have a plan, but unless you have a goal in mind that you've written down, and then you've got a plan, an action plan that you've written down, this isn't something that's just up in your head, because if it's up in your head, then, it's probably not going to come to fruition. And that is why it's so important to have things written down. I've got a whiteboard over here on my wall in my office, and it's got all of the things that I do on a daily basis, the things that are important in my business. And then it also has my goals and my plan on how I'm going to achieve those goals. And without having any of that, in place, I would just be kind of, going through my day without any kind of real roadmap to success. And that's what I wanted to talk about. It's funny. I get questions all the time. What should I do during the winter? How should I price my businesses? Because things are slowing down, and things are slowing down because that's just the nature of the beast. Should you reduce your prices to gain more business? Probably not, because we know traditionally things are going to slow down at this time. So why would we just lower prices indiscriminately, right? I think that's a silly way to go about things, right? You're not going to generate more business because your price is cheaper. You're not generating business right now because the market is slowed down. People are focused on other things. And then you also have to take into account the economy. The elections the other day, hopefully it wasn't what most people were anticipating, but I would anticipate that this should help the economy to some degree, at least the overall perception of how things are going to progress moving forward. So that's a very positive thing. And, again, it's just one of those things. Someone is writing up here, Dewey said, I've got one more scheduled house wash, and that's all I've got left other than commercial work. And that's a great point. Commercial work is something that can hold you over, right? That's a steady paycheck. That is something you can count on. The other thing about I was talking about the Christmas season and things slowing down, people really probably focusing their time, their attention, and their dollars on things that are not related to, say, pressure washing or other exterior services. Now, in preparation for Thanksgiving and preparation for Christmas, people will be spending money. But with the commercial side of things, it's just the opposite, right? Businesses are going to see an influx of customers, right? Retail, it's their busiest time of year, so they're gonna be more cognizant of how things look. So I would recommend that you guys get out there and have conversations, make some cold calls, go see some of these retail establishments, whatever the case is. Get out there and do your best to generate some of those commercial accounts, because that is great business that is there all year long, right? Especially in the slow times, like I said. 𝗤𝘂𝘃𝗁𝗏 says, I started doing Christmas lighting installation this year. That is a great source of additional income. I know there's a lot of guys that do that. We personally don't do that because, like I said, with our location, things can get pretty, things stays pretty steady here for us. But Christmas lighting installation is something that's great. I've actually hired a company to come and do our lights this year, as opposed to my wife and I doing them. So excited about that and seeing how that goes. But, we did that Christmas lighting training course with Glenn Jernigan, and he did a phenomenal job with building his business. He started like 3 years ago and started with just his pressure washing business and his list of customers, and decided that that's what he wanted to do. He's up in Tennessee and it gets real cold and in a limited season. So he started to get on that Christmas lighting train. First year did like 10K or something like that. This year he scored a couple of huge commercial contracts, and he is doing like over $100,000 in like a couple months. So that's absolutely outstanding. So a real business that you can get into that can generate a significant amount of money. If you drop your prices due to season, there's a lot more customers will expect to see how prices all year. Exactly. You stay with your normal prices, right? And there's no shame in having a special every once in a while, or the perception of a special. We do that all the time. You create scarcity with a price, and you get people to pull the trigger. And as long as you're still profitable, then that's great. It's just a matter of how profitable are you willing to be? How profitable do you want to be? And so those are things to take into account when you're looking at your pricing structure, because again, I think lowering prices is a mistake. This is my first year with 100 yard signs and $100 of Facebook ads, and I've generated over $5,000 in less than 3 weeks, and I'm estimating $20,000 by mid-December. That's amazing. How did you learn to do the installations, and when do you actually start that, right? I know it's a very short season. It's like 28 days from the time you really start putting things up or maybe 38 days from the time you start putting the lights up until when you take them down. But that's great, man. But the whole failing to plan thing comes into, it was something that I was thinking about this morning, and it's real easy to get lackadaisical. It's real easy to kind of not focus on your business when things slow down. And I think that's one of the tragic things that a lot of people encounter. And I was talking with a guy the other day. He's a window cleaner, and he was saying that his primary source of revenue for his business, as far as customer leads, things of that nature, his major lead source is word of mouth. And he was saying that he hasn't spent hardly any money on any kind of marketing, and it hasn't hurt his business at all. And then he said it hasn't hurt it yet. And that is a key thing right there, because it hasn't hurt it yet. But by the time you start to realize that it's hurting your business, that you haven't been on top of your marketing, that you haven't been spending that money, that you haven't been investing that time, then it's too late. And then you've got an empty calendar, and you're freaking out trying to figure out how you generate business. And then, your first thought is, oh, I'm going to drop prices. But that's not what you want to do. You want to spend that money, that time, that energy all year all year long. So it isn't an ebb and flow thing, right? It's steady. And when it's steady, then, it's reliable and you can kind of count on that income throughout the year. So that's really kind of the point of that is, don't let things get out of your control and then be fighting like crazy to try to get back in control of your business. It's a year-long thing. Okay. I love doing flat work at sports bars, restaurants. It can be frequent, bi-weekly. Yeah. I'm trying to start. I live in Louisiana and it's hot out there. Some of the things I need to know. What are some of the things? Man, there's way more to learn than just what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. But there is something that we are doing. I don't know if any of you guys are on my email list, but we did send out a deal today. We're doing a BOGO, which is a buy one, get one deal. Anything on the resource page. If you buy, any of our courses, how to wash, how to get customers, which is the marketing framework, the next level, local domination, Justin's Facebook ad strategy. If you buy any of those courses, you can choose one of our other courses to get for absolutely free, or one of the digital assets, one of the business assets, like the customer contract, my email sequences. You can get any of the before and after pictures, whether it's the pressure washing ones or the solar panel ones. So it's kind of a cool deal. You buy one of the courses, which hopefully you were going to buy anyway. And this gentleman, Bodybuilding Moses, was asking about, what he needs to learn. Like how to wash is the perfect example of what you could, invest a little bit of money and a little bit of time into. And it's going to tell you everything that you need to know, right? From the equipment to the chemicals to how to wash every surface on a residential property. So it's kind of a good deal. Plus you get all these other digital assets, which is, and a free course. So there's links in descriptions. Just go to the resource page. And in order to get that deal, you need to email us, but all that information is in there. I learned most of it by YouTube, and you got to have a safe mindset. Exactly. Absolutely right. Yeah. YouTube is amazing. I mean, you can really learn a lot. You can also get a lot of bad information out there too. Obviously not from this channel, but there are a lot of idiots out there that think that they are helping and they're trying to, I don't even know what they're trying to do, but there's a lot of great information, but you got to be very discerning and understand that there could also be some stuff out there that's not right and might lead you in the wrong direction. Dewey, again, also a good thing to take the slow time to service equipment. Exactly, right? And that's something, obviously, during the downtime, you're able to really focus on some of these things, but it's also something, just like your marketing, that you need to be doing all of the time. But that's a great point. And yeah, don't just offer one service, right? One of the best things that you can do is upselling, cross-selling, right? Increasing your average ticket price at every single property is something that's really good. And you got to be out there looking for different things to do, right? And if you're slow and maybe you're struggling a little bit, look for things that are maybe outside of your wheelhouse a little bit that can help to generate extra income, blowing off of leaves and things of that nature. I just made a video the other day. We had a customer about 3 months ago who had us clean her driveway. We cleaned her driveway. She was really happy. It was beautiful. Then she called us because we didn't clean her gutter. And we did clean her gutter, but it was the gutter on her house. She was talking about what we call curbs in Savannah, but she was referring to them as gutters, which I guess is maybe a regional thing. So she was concerned that we didn't clean her curbs along the street. So she'd called us back, whatever, done deal. I get a call a couple days ago from her saying that we didn't do a good job on her driveway, even though she told us that we did. And that there was all kinds of staining, and it shouldn't be like this after 3 months. Well, she's got tons of these live oak trees all over her property, beautiful old oak trees. And they're dropping leaves and they're dropping acorns and all kinds of other little goodies on her driveway. And morning dew and rain and everything else is leaching. It's getting everything wet, and it leaches, the tannin leaches out of those things and stains the driveway. And she's saying that that's our fault, right? It's an educational thing. We had to coach her up and explain to her what was going on. But the fact is that's something that you could add on to your service. You're driving through neighborhoods and you see people with crap all over their driveways. knock on the door and say, hey, I can blow off your driveway real quick, take care of it so you don't have any of these stains, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you do have stains. We can also treat those and get everything looking good. So just little things like that can really add up, especially when you're slow. Contract templates. Yes, there's not a template, but we've got an entire contract that is that's written up by Aaron's attorney. And he spent like $1,000 getting that thing done, and you guys can buy it. I think it's $199 or something like that. But that's also part of that BOGO deal. Let me see some of these. That is a great idea. Contracts. How do I deal with customers who are perfectionists? Well, our job is to meet and exceed customer expectations all the time, right? And so I think the best thing that you can do to deal with customers that are perfectionists is do a pre-inspection walkthrough with them and do a post-inspection walkthrough with them. That way they have the opportunity prior to work getting done to point out any areas of concern. So you understand what they're thinking. And sometimes their expectations aren't what we quoted, right? And so it's important to have those conversations prior to anything starting so you guys are all on the same page. And then once you're done, A, you know what they're looking for. B, when you're done, you do another walkthrough and give them the opportunity to make sure everything's good, so there is no any kind of miscommunication. So that's kind of how I would like to deal with perfectionist customers. Let's see. I'm following the links. Okay, good. I often troll how much you diss on lazy people, but your sales knowledge is solid. Well, thank you. And I don't diss on anybody, right? Like, people leave comments on my little short format videos, and it's really just my time to enjoy having some fun. And yes, I will take stupid comments and I will try to educate from them, right? And not just the person that said it, but and they're funny. So I really enjoy those. But thank you for trolling me. Examples of the contract, Mike. Rich, go to resource 𝗤𝘂𝘃𝗁.com, find the contract on there, and you can read about it. But it's got everything in there that you could possibly need to eliminate any kind of potential issues with customers. But there is a very detailed page on there that can explain everything to you. 𝗤𝘂𝘃𝗁.com. You can check that out. What if you have so many jobs but not enough employees? So that's a great problem to have, right? And there's one way to solve that problem, and it goes back to pricing, right? If you've got adequate lead flow, which it sounds like you do, you don't have enough people to do the work, you can do one of two things. You can schedule people out, which most people don't like, or you raise your prices to the point where you're weeding out any of the lower price customers and only dealing with the higher price customers. So you're eliminating customers or thinning out your schedule, or maximizing your schedule, I guess is a better way to say it, by increasing your prices. And that's going to weed out people that don't want to pay what you're willing to charge. So therefore you've got less work, but you're probably going to end up making more money. Okay. Is there a bundle to get all of the courses? Yes, Miguel, there is. If you email me at info@𝗤𝘂𝘃𝗁.com, info@𝗤𝘂𝘃𝗁.com. You can just ask me that question and I will send you a link so you can buy everything. We've actually got two packages. You can buy all of the courses, all the training, or you can buy all of the digital assets. And then we have a bundle deal where you can get everything that we offer. And it's not cheap, but it's worth every penny. This channel is great. Yes, there's a channel out there that I don't know. I like using surface cleaner to wash a wall. Yeah, I've never seen a surface cleaner washing a wall, but hey, that sounds kind of cool. And a lot of times guys will make videos, content for various social media platforms simply to get views, right? Like dudes that'll go out and clean, old people's stuff for free or mow old people's lawns for free. And, that's cool. It's good, satisfying stuff. Pressure washing a wall with a surface cleaner, I'd watch it for a minute just to see what the hell they're doing. Let's see. Yard cleanup. Yeah, that's good. Gutter cleaning is amazing service. Exactly. I actually was just thinking about that. And leaf cleanup. My son, he's 15. Dude is a hard little worker, right? Like he's smart, he's an athlete, but he's also just a total entrepreneur, hustler, and he loves money. And so after school, he's been going out and blowing neighbors' driveways, or not driveways, their yards, getting up all the leaves, raking them up. He loads up his golf cart, puts everything on there. He's run some Facebook, posts to generate the leads. I'll actually probably should make a video about that, but he's killing it. I think he's made like $1,500 and he's 15. So pretty cool. But yeah, leaf cleanup this time of year, gutter cleaning, all the things that like are easy to like visualize, right? It's real easy to just say, hey, do you want us to clean your leaves? Look at your gutters. We don't need the gutters full of crap when it's going to start freezing. All of these things, right? Winterizing, right? Irrigation systems, things like that. These are all things that you can add on to what you're offering to increase your average sales ticket or just to stay busy. Let's see. I've been watching you about 4 months now, and you really got me to love this kind of work. I got all of my stuff to start. Thanks for opening my eyes to some. I love to hear that, man. This is a great business, and if you apply yourself, you apply the knowledge that you gain from wherever, whether it's YouTube or maybe you shadow somebody that's in your area, whatever the case is, right? Like you take that, you apply it, and you don't give up, and you're going to be successful. I mean, there is a tremendous amount of money to be made in this business. I always clean curbs and sidewalks with driveways. It does reflect with my price. Why I don't charge $100 for a small driveway, and when I clean, I state that it is. Yeah, we don't clean the curbs. We always do sidewalks. So if you get your driveway clean, we're going to clean your sidewalks and your walkways, but not the curbs. You probably should, but we don't. Price of How to Wash. How to Wash is $3.99, and that is a deal. That thing is so stout. That course is so packed with all kinds of information. We always have specials, but like I said, right now we've got a BOGO thing. So if you get How to Wash, you can get another course for free or one of our digital assets. So definitely something to think about. How can we avoid the marks after washing a driveway? After post-treat, should we advise the customer to not drive onto the driveway for a few hours? Yeah, the marks on the driveway, if you're talking about like stripes or swirl marks or anything like that, a good pre-treatment, a good slow surface cleaning to make sure that everything is getting cleaned evenly. And then if necessary, a post-treatment, then, I don't think traffic on it is going to have that much of an impact. At least not in my opinion. I've never told a customer not to drive on it after we've been cleaning, but you have to make sure that it's clean, right? A driveway or a car or something like that. A car on a driveway is not going to have a negative impact on a properly cleaned driveway. Stains on anything is noted and set with customers' expectation. Exactly right. And that's why we have our 28-point inspection that my company does all the time. And that allows us, again, during the customer walkthrough, and we do it prior to, we're looking for any kind of stains, any kind of damage, pre-existing condition, broken windows, broken seals, outlets that are broken. Does the front door need to be covered? All of these things that we look for. And it's also something that is in 𝗤𝘂cije. I put that in, that's in the premium version of 𝗤𝘂cije. And if you guys haven't checked out 𝗤𝘂cije, we're actually giving away a pressure washing business starter kit. We're giving away one of Cody from Southeast Soft Washes Kraken 4-gallon per minute pressure washers. It's on a little cart, so you can wheel it around, because probably whoever is going to win this is starting out. So that's probably the best bet. So we're giving that away. We're giving away a 20-inch surface cleaner as well as a 100-foot of high pressure hose. And all you have to do to win that is download 𝗤𝘂cije. You have to leave a review, whether it's on the App Store or on the Google Play Store, and then screenshot that review, and then you email it to us, and then you're entered to win. We're going to do that drawing at the beginning of the year, and somebody is going to win that 4-gallon per minute Kraken pressure washer from Southeast Soft Wash, 100-foot of hose, and a surface cleaner, which is really what you need in order to get started with your pressure washing business. So something cool that we're doing, sponsored by 𝗤𝘂cije, like I said. And if you guys haven't checked that out, please do. 𝗤𝘂cije is free to download. You're able to import customers, create customers, You can create estimates. You can send estimates to your customers via text or email. You can send invoices. And the coolest thing is you can collect payments. So they can pay you right online and you get your money right then. It's pretty awesome. And that's all in the free version. And then we've got other things, but there's a 14-day free trial for 𝗤𝘂IQ if you guys want to check it out. All right, let's see what else. Stains on anything. Yeah, we talked about that. Hello. How are you? I'm good. Do you think charging $250 for a driveway is a perfect price? I live in Kissimmee, Florida. Alex, that is a great question. I don't know how big the driveway is. I don't know how dirty the driveway is. I don't know what the market is in Kissimmee, Florida. And saying is $250 a good price for anything, whether it's a driveway, a house, or $1,000, right? It has to do with how dirty is that driveway? How long is it going to take you? What is your overhead? What are your costs? Like, these are things that you did. There's no such thing as a one size fits all price. So take that out of your mind right now. One size does not fit all. So the house right here could be $250 for a driveway, and the one directly next door, the same size, the same everything, except it's dirty as hell. That could be a $500, right? Because it's going to take you 3 times as long to get it clean and to make it look right. So again, there's no one size fits all price. So remove that from your head and you'll be in a much better place. Guys, during the fall, offer gutter cleaning at a competitive price and upsell everything you can. I love that. I'm a huge fan of upselling and cross-selling. Alex is just starting his business and he got motivation from you on just one of my videos is motivating. Should be more than that. What's the one thing that got your business out there that people recognized? Surprisingly enough, I think one of the biggest things that helped my business grow was branding, right? There are tons of pressure washing businesses out there, and probably besides the guy that owns the business who thinks his brand and his name and everything else that he's doing is really cool, it's not really a brand yet. I was fortunate that I branded super early. I had a cool logo, that one right there, very easily recognizable, and I plastered that thing absolutely everywhere. Every form of marketing, good, bad, or indifferent, because I did some stupid stuff. I did billboards. I did full-page magazine ads. I did things that never had a great ROI, but probably did a phenomenal job as far as the branding of my business and getting my name, my brand, my logo out there. So when people do Google and we're high up, it's like, oh yeah, I know that. And that's who I'm going to go with, right? People feel comfortable with the brand. So branding is something that's very important. And you incorporate that into your marketing, right? So if you're just getting started, like it sounds like you are, really focus on your marketing, getting your name in front of as many people as possible, right? It's all a numbers game. Okay. After Xmas lights, I'm planning on doing that, winterizing sprinkler systems. That's a good thing. Is the street portion of the house public? Yeah, so actually like 3 or 4 feet up into the actual, your house, your property line is actually the government's. And I think it probably varies from location to location, but it's like 3 or 4 feet up, and that has to do with water pipes and things of that nature. But you still can clean it. JLB Power Washing, it is going well. I hope you are too. All right. You overcharge people. You can clean for free and get millions of views and make YouTube ad revenue. You overcharge people. You can clean for free. Okay. No, that's just a silly thing to say. You're a child, I'm assuming probably 13 to 14 years old. And because of that, you have no understanding or comprehension of how things work in the real world. Now, I own a business. I don't own a YouTube channel that does stuff for free, right? My YouTube channel is based on my business experience, and I use that experience to help other people grow their business, right? By saying something as adolescent as that, you don't know how much I charge, right? Overcharging is kind of that's a conversation between the customer and the business owner, right? If we overcharge, then it's on them. It's not on us. We charge what we need to charge, but that's neither here nor there. But YouTube ad revenue, I would much rather take the money made from my businesses and compare that to ad revenue, right? Now, if I was Mr. Beast or I was, Joe Rogan or some of these guys, Logan Paul, whoever, who've got these massive, massive channels that generate tremendous amounts of ad revenue, then yes, you're correct. But this is a pressure washing channel with 300,000 people that watch, and you're not generating more than you can make by actually charging a customer, or overcharging, if you will. But that's just me being a intelligent human and you not. You never ran a business. No. Love your videos. I just watched to watch. Nice. It did a good thing to charge by the square foot. Is it a good thing? So I think charging by the square foot is a very good way to have a baseline of knowledge on how you should quote, right? There are national averages that we can go by, but again, it goes back to your business. It goes back to your overhead. It goes back to your market, right? And just like I said, a driveway A and driveway B could be exactly the same. And if driveway A was clean last year and driveway B wasn't cleaned ever, and it's a 15-year-old house, well, driveway B is going to be significantly more expensive. So you're doing yourself a disservice by only quoting by the square foot. So I think it's a case-per-case basis. Now, in 𝗤𝘂IQ, we give you the option of either quoting a one-time price, a square foot price, or a linear either a square foot price or a linear foot price based on whatever it is that you're measuring, as well as an hourly rate based on the hourly rate calculator that's in the app that you input all of your overhead, and it tells you what your break-even point is, and then you add the margin level that you want. Then it gives you your hourly rate that you're targeting, and then you can use that to apply to whatever quote it is you're giving. That driveway is going to take me about 2 hours to do. I need to make about $150 an hour. Then blah blah blah. So that's how you got to be kind of have a hybrid mentality when you're out there quoting, because I don't think there is one cookie cutter way to do it. And that's like why I said in 𝗤𝘂IQ we give you multiple options on how to quote, what's best for you and what's best for that specific job. All right. Washed a driveway with SH after rinsing off from the driveway to street. Also was bleached. Any tips on how to avoid that? Should I just rinse more and also rinse the street? Good question. How hot was your mix? If the mix was that hot, it sounds like maybe you were soft washing it and maybe not surface cleaning. We do and again, it just depends on how dirty the driveway is, right? If it's super, super bad, we'll hit it with a soft wash, a hotter mix, and then we'll surface clean and go from there. But yeah, you should probably rinse off the street. I mean, we do anyway, because you're going to have a bunch of debris and whatnot. At least get the bulk of it out of the front of the neighbor or in front of the customer's house. Ad revenue on one video for 1 million views is about 30,000. That's 100% incorrect, but you're again a child. I could go into ad revenue and dollars and explain exactly how that works, but that's not what this video is about. But thank you for commenting. Continue to watch, and I appreciate you doing that. Let's see. I charge 20 cents per square foot in my area for a driveway, but a $200 minimum. That is a great place. And it sounds like you know your money or your business, you know your overhead, you know your costs. How do you prevent streaks on a driveway? Pre-treat, post-treat, go slow. Make sure your tips are clean. Make sure you've got adequate pressure. Make sure you've got the right size tips in your surface cleaner. Those are the ways. Try not to overlap. There's all kinds of different ways. I made a dozen videos on all of that. I appreciate you answering my questions. You got it. Who is this guy? I love it, though. You're an idiot. Ad revenue, you can Google that and you can see exactly what it is. So and it varies. So you can just get removed, which is a hide user from channel. Okay, bye-bye. Let's see. People get hung up on the wrong things. And it's just like in business. You can get hung up on the wrong things, right? How many PSI, how many GPM, right? Like those are very important things, but those are not the things that actually move the needle. The things that move the needle, the things that actually will make your business grow, make your business scalable, make you more money, is generating the lead flow to get the customers in, right? And we talked about that, briefly a few minutes ago. The more leads that you have, the more customers that you have, the better you're able to determine where your price is, right? If you've got, no customers, then your price is going to be down here. But if you've got a ton of customers and they want you to do the work, then you're able to raise your prices, right? And there's a delicate balance there of where you want to be. So I think it's important to focus on the things that actually matter, right? And this kid talking about like ad revenue, what difference does that have to make to anything? Nothing. Let's see. Do you always clean the driveway before doing any kind of power washing or surface cleaner? I don't exactly know what you mean. Do you always clean the driveway? I'm not sure exactly what you mean there. Didn't read what he said. It doesn't matter. I quoted a driveway for a lady. I told her $150 and she said, no, that's too high. And you know what? You're going to run into people all the time that say, no, that's too high. And that's fine. They're not your ideal customer. Was $150 a fair price for her driveway? That's the question, right? People all the time undervalue what we do. They don't see necessarily the value. They know that they want it clean, but then when you give them a price, they may be like, oh, that's more than I wanted to pay. And that's fine. Call somebody else, right? Which goes back to your leads, right? If you've got enough lead flow coming in, you can tell people to pound sand when they have a problem with your pricing. Now, if you said, hey, that's going to be a $500 driveway, and she goes, that sounds like a deal, then great, put her on the schedule. If not, find the one that wants to pay, right? They are out there. There are millions of homes out there. You just need to target and find the right people. This is not rocket science. Let's see. 𝗤𝘂cije is so helpful. I love to hear that. Let's see. I quoted a drive. We said lead flow equals cash flow. That's right, baby. Targeting your ideal customer has stuck with me in business. And that is something that evaded me for many years in my business. I was trying to be all things to everybody. I wanted to service every single property, whether it was a 1,200 square foot house or, a 25,000 square foot house. I wanted to get every single job. And I realized probably later than I would have liked to admit to you guys, the smaller houses, yeah, we'll do them, but you're going to pay what we need to get paid, right? And most of the time they're not willing to pay what we need to be paid. So that's why we focus on our ideal customer. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Let's see what else. I do remove all debris from the driveway before using my surface cleaner because I want to protect my equipment. Okay, if that's what you're talking about, yeah, blow any kind of big stuff off, right? Because the last thing you want, those swivels and the bars are going so fast. If they hit anything, it can cause damage. It can cause catastrophic damage. And while a swivel's not terribly expensive, it can be time suck and not something you want to deal with. I qualify on the phone. Prices start at X for a basic service, and it goes up from there based on size and condition. Doing that saved me so much time. That's a great, yeah, absolutely, right? Pre-qualifying is perfect. Being able to quote remotely is even a bigger time saver. I mean, residential properties, I don't go out and quote. I only do it on big commercial stuff. And 𝗤𝘂cije allows us to do all of that. I just got the app. It looks good. Going to start using it. That's awesome. So yeah, that's really it. If anybody has any more questions, I'm going to hop off. I just wanted to get on for a few minutes. I've been kind of lazy today. It's been raining for 2 days. That hurricane that hit Florida is still dumping a bunch of water on us. So I really haven't been able to get out and do the things that I normally like to do. If you quote remotely, how do you figure how to charge based on how dirty the driveway is? So that's a great question. And I've been doing this a really long time. And so I like to quote worst case scenario. Okay. So take an example of like, say, gutter cleaning, right? If a customer calls and they're like, yeah, I need to get my gutter cleaned, I can measure the perimeter, understand how many feet of gutter they're cleaning. And then I say, okay, worst case scenario, if these gutters are completely packed with, everything that could be packed into a gutter, how long is that going to take us? And then I can quote from there, right? Worst case scenario is how I price. I do that on Responsibid. It's the exact same thing. Responsibid's a great, piece of software. It's a great sales tool. And I've got worst case pricing in there. So a customer can, enter whatever they want. And, if their driveway is super clean, then we're going to, it makes sense for us. We make a little more because we're in and out quicker. But if it's really bad, because we charged what we needed to based on the worst case scenario, that's how I do that. So that's how I do that. All right. It's raining in Longview, Texas. Glad to catch you live. You've done a lot of teaching for free. I appreciate it. You got it. If you qualify on the phone, you don't even waste time on a quote. That's exactly right. Well, but a quote can be done so fast too. Like I've got an answering service. People call it all the time. My people take the message, they send it to me, and then we take a look at it. We enter the address. It pops up the screen. We can measure. We can give a quote within probably 15 seconds. And they get it. They get a great looking quote on their text, on their email. And, not only is it ridiculously fast, but it's professional. And that goes a long way as well. But qualifying on the phone is also a phenomenal way to do it. What is the difference between a marketing package and Justin's Facebook ad? Okay, so how to get customers, that is everything, right? And how to get customers has Justin's Facebook ad strategy in it. No, does it? I can't remember if it does. Maybe it does. We've got so many products. But so Justin's Facebook ad strategy focuses on absolutely everything, right? As far as Facebook ads go. The marketing framework, how to get customers, focuses on everything from boots on the ground to all sorts of digital advertising, including Facebook, to print marketing, all kinds of different things. So that's the difference. One is specific to Facebook. Let's see. What's the best thing to use when it comes to avoiding chemicals going down city drains? Dude, I live in Georgia. We don't. City drains. Come on. I'm trying to read some of these. I've been following you for over 3 years, man. You are one of my mentors. Thank you for your time and everything you do for this industry. My pleasure. Hopefully it has helped you some. Do you think fleet washing is some good? Yeah, fleet washing is great, right? And fleet washing is a lot different than like just pressure washing or window, whatever the case is. Fleet washing, those guys they're dialed in and they've got a very specific way. There's one step, there's two stepping. We did quite a bit of fleet washing many years ago, but we were not advanced. We were not as dialed in as legit fleet washers, right? They've got some phenomenal chemicals. They've got some great processes. And if you're willing to invest the time and the energy to learn how to do it, then by all means, I think fleet washing can be a great source of additional income. And that's year round too. So I think that's a great thing. Appreciate it. Helping to kick this. Let's go. I don't plan on worrying about city drinking or draining until I get a hand slap. Just that's me. Yeah, we've never had an issue, and I've been doing this for 20 years. Have we done any work in St. Mary's? No, we don't really go that far. Like, I think the farthest that we go south is like Brunswick, and St. Mary's is past Brunswick, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But God, I can't even remember the last time we went to Brunswick. It's got to be a big job. Hinesville is about as south as we go. We used to do a bunch of apartments down there. We did a ton at the base. Yeah, no, not St. Mary's. Yeah, 45 minutes past. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so no, we don't go. Is that where you were from, or are you coming up from like Jack's? All right, guys. 𝗤𝘂cie is really helpful. Thank you for promoting it. Without you, I would have never found it. Well, hell, I don't just promote it. Justin and I built that from scratch, right? Like, people kept asking, hey, what is the CRM that you use? And I never had an answer, right? I used all kinds of different things. I used QuickBooks for invoicing. I used another app for scheduling. I used, all kinds of different apps. And we were talking one day and we were like, dude, like, why do we not just build it ourselves? And so for the past, 12, 13 months, He and I have been just nose to the grindstone, building this thing out from the perspective of somebody that has been out there and knows what we need, right? There's a bunch of software out there, Jobber and Market and some others, and they're great, right? But they're not built for our industry. And the beautiful thing about 𝗂𝘂IQ is because I've had so much experience in other service industries, we've been able to incorporate everything into one app, and it just continually gets better. And anybody that's using it now, like you see how the emails, the quotes are sent right in a PDF. Just wait, we've got like this crazy new. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Super stoked about that. That should probably be out. Our developer says within the next couple of days. So yeah, man, we're so proud of this thing, right? It's become kind of like an all-encompassing, component of my day where, we're spending so much time refining, developing, finding bugs, fixing bugs, getting it out to you guys so you can play with it, so you can break it, so you can let us know, what's up. There's a Facebook group, a 𝗂𝘂IQ Facebook group as well. So people can kind of talk it back and forth. We're in there, we're reading it, we're getting ideas. We want you to help us make this thing as good as possible. So if you've got any ideas on features that you want to see, please let us know. I mean, there's a list this big of stuff that is going to be built, going to be implemented, some really cool stuff. So really, really proud of it. So please go check that out. It's on Google Play. It's on the App Store. And like I said earlier, we're giving away that pressure washing business starter kit. There should be a link in this video with that information on there. So definitely something that I would love for you guys to check out. All right, Ryan Campbell, hello. Do you ever do any like meet and greets? Yeah, we do WashCon. We do it in February every year. Last year it was in Nashville. This year it's going to be down at Southeast Soft Wash in Roanoke, Alabama at Cody's shop. So we're going to do a WashCon there. It's a meet and greet. It's a phenomenal experience, education, hands-on stuff. Plus you get to see Southeast and all the equipment that they build. It's pretty cool. So that is one thing that we are doing as far as meet and greets. But like, dude, I'm just some schlub pressure washing guy. No one wants to meet or greet me. Let's see. I'm looking into getting a new surface cleaner. What should I get? There are a ton of great surface cleaners out there. We've been using BE surface cleaners. They're these yellow 20-inch discs. We run them with 8 gallon per minute machines, but you can really use them for anything. They're lightweight. They're cheap enough to where when someone runs over it or they get broken or whatever, you can just replace it. So that is that. Who else? Whisper Wash makes some really good ones. Whisper Wash has like smaller ones that I'm a huge fan of. They had some big guys. We use those for a long time. They're good, but I like smaller ones. 20-inch is, in my opinion, kind of the sweet spot for 8 gallon per minute, and anything smaller than that. I'm looking to get a new surface cleaner. I've already answered that. Does your company still chase jobs, or does everyone come to you? We are proactive in the fact that we still do some advertising. I run Google ads. I do some occasional Facebook advertising. I do a lot of sponsorships, like golf stuff, sponsoring holes, doing stuff for like, my kids' schools and more things where it's like, it's not as blatant advertising or marketing, but we still focus heavily on our email marketing, our text marketing. We do voicemail bombs. It's something that, like I said, you got to continue to do your marketing all the time. Even if you've been established like we have, if you slack off, then it's gonna you're gonna run out of customers calling you. Hey, if anybody is on here and you're watching, give me a thumbs up like this. I want to see that number jump up. Not that I care, because I really don't care, but I think it's kind of funny to watch. Let's see, vacation spot. Yeah, it is. I like St. Simon's. Is really nice. We go to the King and Prince quite a bit. Hello, do you ever like meet and greets? Does your company? Where's the link? Link for what? Because I've been talking a lot. Any pressure washer brand that you recommend? Yeah, Southeast Soft Wash. They have made my past 3 8-gallon per minute machines, and that's the 4-gallon per minute Kraken that they are giving away, that we're giving away with 𝗤𝘂cije. So I would check that out. 𝗤𝘂wanie.com. They have a great product. Does your wife work? No, she does not. She used to. We've got 4 children, the oldest of which is turning 21 in a couple weeks. And he is away in college. My oldest daughter is in college as well. And then I've got a sophomore, and I've got a daughter that's in middle school. And so that alone is a full-time job, you know, raising kids, dealing with me, handling our dogs, and, you know, everything else. But she does some volunteering as well. But that's an interesting question. So I've said it a few times, but I'm about to hop out. I've actually been on air for an hour, which kind of flew by. Okay, the link to the app you have developed, CRM. It's called 𝗤𝘂cije, all one word, 𝗤𝘂cije. It's on the Apple Play Store. It is on the Google Play Store. But if you go to 𝗤𝘂cije.io instead of .com.io, it'll have a link there. There should be one in the description of this video. And I'm not sure how it works with lives, but you can check that out. Thank you for the personal stuff. Yeah. Does your wife work? And thank you for assuming that I was married and had a wife. What's up, Reggie? How you doing, man? I hadn't seen you in a while. You must be busy. All right. Well, okay. I'm going to say 3 more minutes. If you've got any questions that you want to, ask, I can answer them. Washing questions, marketing questions, whatever. That's good, man. I love to hear that. Yeah. So a couple things, I guess, in closing. We're doing that BOGO deal. Buy one course and you can choose from a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other courses to get for free, and all of our digital assets, the customer contract, the email sequences, before and after pictures. There are 2 packs of 100, and there's also a 75-pick solar panel cleaning pack. But you can choose, you know, like 5 or 6 of our heavy hitter courses, choose from some of our less expensive courses to get for free, or, you know, the digital assets. It's kind of cool. That's going on until 11 or 12 o'clock tonight. But all you need to do is email me. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube right now about that on my community deal. You can see exactly what you need to do. 𝗤𝘂cije is out. It's doing well. We're continually improving it every single day. Super excited about that. It is a great CRM. Check that out. It's on the Google Play Store and the App Store. What else? The Inner Circle. We are doing, we're probably going to do away with the monthly subscription to that, kind of eliminate some of the riffraff. I mean, we get these guys that pop in and pop out, and it's just irritating and annoying. Like, if you can't afford $149 per month, you shouldn't be in this group anyway. So just don't bother. But we're going to do, you can check out the website, but there'll be more information on that coming up as well. What is one marketing strategy to never do? You know, it's tough to kind of do a ballpark, you know, like a big canvas of what not to do, because what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. So I think it's great to test everything and see where you get the most ROI, because that's going to determine where you should spend your time, your energy, and your dollars, right? So, but what's the worst? I did a billboard and it didn't really do great. I've done benches in front of grocery stores with my stuff, and they did phenomenal. I've done the little inserts in grocery carts. Those did good. I think that if I was to do those again, and I just thought about this right now, back then their QR codes weren't a thing, but if you had a pressure washing thing, you had a free quote with a QR code. I think that's gold. But that's it, guys. I am going to check out. I appreciate y'all watching, and thanks again. All those links are down below. Appreciate y'all.